Get the tissues ready, because here are the most emotional Soldiers Coming Home compilation. Let's dive right into it, shall we? While on the Steve Harvey Show, the co-host and Steve were honoring the U.S. soldiers on Veterans Day. After Steve gave a speech about how they all respect and appreciate their service, Ruben got to share about his brother, his sister, and his father, who all served in the military. He even stated that it takes a special person to do what these people are doing. Then, as he was speaking, Star Sergeant Irvin, the brother of the co-host, surprised Ruben with a big bro hug from behind. He came specifically for the show, all the way from Okinawa, Japan, and the host literally broke down in tears. Matt Farrell, a player for the basketball team Notre Dame, got a special message from his brother, Bo. He was serving in Afghanistan, and Matt thought that the message was all he was getting. But little did he know, when the video was over, his brother walked on the court, and when Matt saw him, he couldn't run fast enough to hug his bro. Arriving home after the 400th day of deployment overseas, Jimmy Talbot wanted to surprise his daughters. You see, when he left to serve the military, his daughter was just starting college, and now they got reunited once again. Just look at the reaction of the two girls and how hard they hugged their daddy. This couple comes from two families of soldiers. They have also served in the Army. In fact, that's where they met. After getting married and having 4 sons, their oldest decided to leave home and join the Army. And guess who showed up to give his mom and dad a huge surprise while they were on a national show? Now, his mom is a tough lady, but even she couldn't stop herself from shedding a few tears of joy. Maria and Michaela were the Mizobu twin cheerleaders, and they grew up without a father figure in their lives. Cody Kemmerling was their mom's boyfriend and later husband who went to serve in the military. And guess who surprised them with a special visit? Now, judging by their reaction, you would never understand that he's their stepdad. They love him as if he were their own father. If you like our first 5 picks, don't forget to smash that like button. It keeps the almighty YouTube algorithm happy, and you keep getting these videos for free. Lucas's dad served in the United States Army as the signal advisor with the 1st Security Forces Assisted Brigade. At the time, his son was a running back, and he decided to surprise him with a special little gift. Aside from filming a video message, he then went out on the field. His son didn't even notice him as he was walking off the field, but a little shaking and a shoulder punch woke him up. Steve has somewhat of a tradition honoring U.S. soldiers for Veterans Day. This time, it's another family with a big part of their members serving their country. What's funny is that the mom of the family has just returned from service in Kuwait. Steve invited her on the show, and her 5 children, as well as her husband, got the family reunion of a lifetime. This surprise comes from a U.S. Marine by the name of Christian Anderson. Inspired by his grandfather, who was also a Marine back in his day, now a retired, disabled veteran, he couldn't attend his grandson's graduation. The veteran hadn't seen his grandson in over 2 years, so he could barely contain himself when he saw his grandson come up from behind him. Walter Steffens was being honored as the Man of the Year by Woodhaven's Residence Block Association, but his son, Scott, was serving in the U.S. Navy. Not wanting to miss his dad's big moment, he managed to get a few days of leave, fly back home, and surprise his dad at the event. When his dad was told to look off to the side and saw his son, the man immediately broke into tears. After serving a year in Kuwait, Sergeant Colin Rainieri decided to surprise his sister at her school. He talked to her team, and they all organized a special little surprise for her. The mascot was in on it as well. After the mascot gave Chelsea her roses and a box of chocolates, her brother walked on the court, and she immediately went to hug him as tight as she could. During the commencement ceremony in 2013 at Florida State University, Elizabeth Golightly was graduating senior at age 23. Her sister, who was serving 9 months in Afghanistan, came back and watched the whole ceremony, watched her sister graduate, and then got up on stage, tapped her sister on the shoulder, and, well, let's just say it was a nice surprise. This airman decided to come home early for the holidays and surprise her sister at work. She was in the middle of teaching, But when her brother walked in, she completely forgot about her lesson and immediately went to hug her brother, whom she hadn't seen in months. Okay, we're warning you about this one. The soldier in the picture came home after completing his training, but his grandfather passed away. So, he decided to surprise his sweet granny. As he was sitting on the porch, his grandma was slowly approaching the door. Before she could get out, the boy jumped up, greeted her the traditional way, but she didn't want her grandson kneeling. So she picked him right back up and hugged him like never before. We've already watched this video, but it still brings tears to our eyes. This entire family gathered around the TV to see their Marine live call. As he was sitting there, he went outside to pick up something and then came through the back door. His sick grandma was overjoyed. This mom was a teacher at a school in Long Island. She was reading the names of the students at an assembly when she came across her son's name on the list, and you could see her face change in an instant. As her son walked through the door, she was overjoyed and immediately went to hug him. During a Christmas gathering at the Ocean Medical Center in Brick, New Jersey, this mom got the surprise of her lifetime when her son jumped up from behind her, removed the Santa hat and beard, and hugged his mom. The lady was speechless and just hugged her son tighter and tighter. This is Stephen Turner Jr., and this was his graduation. The only wish he had was to see his mom, who was deployed at Guantanamo Bay for about 9 months. Well, his wish came true. No one is better at surprises than Ellen. This time, she called a mother and a daughter that went viral on social media after the girl received a teddy bear with her daddy's voice recording. On the show, Ellen organized a live surprise call with the dad and even gave the mom a check for $25,000. This is our absolute favorite. This soldier bought a giant teddy bear and sat on the front porch of their house, wanting to surprise his wife. She read the letter he sent her and started crying, but when she turned around, this former Marine Staff Sergeant asked his granddaughter for permission to hug her. When she said permission was granted, he embraced her as tight as he could. At her graduation, this airman was surprised by her older brother, who was standing right behind her the whole time. This young soldier from Brunswick County decided to surprise his fiancée after serving a year overseas. Her reaction was priceless. This husband came home, was sneaking around the house for 3 minutes straight, and just as his wife was getting ready to leave with her car, this is the surprise she got. When his son came back from Afghanistan after months in service, this father broke down in tears when he saw his son at the door of his office. This is probably the sweetest soldier's return video ever. The mom was actually convinced it was an app that was putting their Dawn in all of their pictures. It took her about 2 minutes and 2 photos to figure it out. On a related note, do you have any family members who've served in the military? You can tell us in the comment section below. And if you like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.